to fruition around mid-1999, and I discovered it was time for a change, and I kind of just, I went over to Hong Kong. I was involved with the Hong Kong film industry for a short space of time, and that brought me to Hong Kong quite regularly, and I loved Hong Kong, and I still love it now. It's still one of my favorite cities in the world. And so I was in Hong Kong. I get chatting with a couple of guys from Australia, actually, and I said, you should try looking in the Philippines. There's tons of, big call centers over there. With your experience, I'm sure you could go and, get a consultant job. And that's exactly what I did. And here I am 10 years later, running my own company. So, it's been not necessarily rags to riches sort of story, but nonetheless a very hard struggle. And it's really only the last 3 or 4 years where things have really started to go very, very well. But it has been tough. But I wouldn't have changed any of those experiences for anything, because they put me into the place where I am today, where, I kind of do see myself as a relatively successful guy, but still with somebody with a hell of a lot of drive and ambition behind him that, still gets up every morning and busts his balls every single day.
Yeah. Yeah, so it is almost a rags to riches, almost, over time. That near bankruptcy to running a firm of about 220
very
people,
close.
That's a big deal, man.
Very, very, very close. I got to be honest with you, I was bailed out. I was bailed out by my old man, and I'm forever grateful for that. I've spoken to a lot of people that have gone bankrupt, both in the UK and in the US as well. It's not a pretty thing, but sometimes it is the best thing to do. I mean, if you're really down and you owe a lot of money, sometimes wiping the slate like that is really the only way to be able to get back up to where you want to be. It might take a little longer for you to do it. And I was contemplating it. For several months I was contemplating it. And my father just, my father was a man of very kind of solid values, and no, you can't go bankrupt, young man. I'll write you a check, sort of thing. So he was, he bailed me out, plain and simple. But it was a tough time, and I look back on that, and I had learned a hell of a lot. I was young, man. I was stupid. The credit cards and the bank loans, and I was just stupid. I mean, plain and simple. It wasn't like it was bad business decisions, because I wasn't an entrepreneur at that point. I was just an employee. I was just a sales guy. That's all I was. And I was just stupid. I just got myself in debt. I mean, we're not talking tens of thousands of pounds or anything like that, but I mean, it was a lot of money. For me at that time, it was a hell of a lot of money. And
I've been there.
Yeah.
I think most of us have been there one way or another.
That's the thing. I think that the majority